The regressionist nonsense is going way too far. It's truly going way too far. Amongst issues like mass shootings, crippling climate change, homelessness, you have Florida regressionist, anti-humanist officials trying to ban information about menstrual cycles and menstruation in elementary schools. It wasn't enough to attack the word gay because the word gay is hurting so many people, right? Right? Hello, and welcome to Embodying Mystical Mac. I'm Mac, and if you're new here, thank you so much for joining. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Today, we have a very impromptu video. In fact, if there's anything behind me, if my mic looks a little bit haphazardly set up, if you hear background noises, it is because I was not going to make this video. I wasn't going to make a video tonight. I was literally just going to chill out, do my dishes, get ready for bed, play some video games, and go to bed. But then I saw this just nonsensical stuff on social media, and I just had to talk about it because, the regressionist nonsense is going way too far. It's truly going way too far. Amongst issues like mass shootings, crippling climate change, homelessness, you have Florida regressionist, anti-humanist officials trying to ban information about menstrual cycles and menstruation in elementary schools. It wasn't enough to attack the word gay because the word gay is hurting so many people, right? Right? Because there's actual quantifiable research to show that that word is hurting so many people, right? Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I was confusing that with firearms. In fact, it turns out the word gay is not hurting anyone. But guess what are firearms in the hands of people who have no business having them? Yeah. So now, not only are we attacking a word that is, in fact, doing more good than it is harm, we're attacking speaking about something that is completely normal for quite literally just about half the population in elementary schools. And now some of you might be like, yeah, but girls don't get their period. Like, shut up. I am a girl who got her period in elementary school. I will bet you there are many of them just like me. But regardless, that is not the point. The point is that it would be pretty ludicrous to ban talking about urine in schools, wouldn't it? Can you imagine every time a kid had to go pee, they couldn't talk about it, they couldn't ask about it, they couldn't say anything, they couldn't even read books about peeing. That would be pretty nonsensical. A little crazy, a little controlling, one might say. That is what this is. There is no logical, and it doesn't matter how they try to dress it up. Just like with the don't say gay nonsense, queerness is not hurting our children. In fact, visible queerness is probably a reason that a lot of queer kids are growing up thinking that they might actually have a place in this world now. And that isn't even true for kids everywhere. Especially when you have regressionists literally attacking Disney and other companies that make kids media for adding the most coded, the most underrated, the most under the radar shit. Yeah, okay, that kiss in Lightyear was a little bit over the radar, but that, you have to understand, that happens probably 0.00000000001% of the time. And it doesn't happen more than that because of the ridiculous regressionists that don't have bigger priorities than attacking queerness it doesn't matter how they try to dress it. This, just like the HB 123 or HB 1223 thing, this is just grasping at more control that they have no business having. There's absolutely no reason for you to have to turn in your menstrual data. I didn't even really, like myself, I didn't even start really tracking my menstrual data till adulthood. But you bet your ass that if I was doing it as a teen, as an elementary school student, as a middle schooler, the government has no business knowing that information about me. That is information only my doctor should know if it's pertinent to them. That is like asking for you to turn in your child's bowel movement logs. Except we're discriminating against people born with female reproductive organs. Because this isn't about protecting anybody. Just like the Don't Say Gay bill isn't about protecting anybody. This is about controlling people, specifically in this case, AFAB women. And people who get periods. Now, I can talk about that angle of it till I'm blue in the face, but let's talk some logic, yeah? All of this nonsense about ban this, ban that. Do you know what creates problems? Withholding information. Sure, you might have issues come to light when too much information is given in an inappropriate manner, and in an inappropriate time. However, more often than not, in the long run, having that information available is going to be more beneficial than it will be harmful. Just thinking of the idea that representation matters. Why does representation matter in media? Why is it that queer people are fighting to be visible, have always been fighting to be visible? Right? Why is it that we want you to learn that Oscar Wilde and Walt Whitman were gay, by the way? Not just great writers, they were gay. Why is it that, we want you to be able to see us in TV shows and commercials and things like that? Not just queer people, by the way, it goes for every minority. Black people, Asian people, disabled people, doesn't matter. Any minority group is fighting for representation, because when you see yourself represented, as this amazing Floridian said, this constituent said, in regards to the Don't Say Gay stuff, we need mirrors and windows. We need similarities reflected back at us. That signals to us that we have a place in this world, that we can belong in this world. Representation is a form of information. To withhold representation is to withhold the information that the world really is as diverse as you might observe. That there really are others out there who look just like you, who may feel the same things you do, who may like the same things you do. When we don't talk to people about very important and pivotal things, such as their bodily functions, such as part of their identity, that's when you start to harm people. I'm certain there are plenty of examples of this in science, in art, in the real world. But you know what? Look no further than your silly sitcom or your predictable movie script. What typically moves the conflict forward? What typically creates it in the first place? It's usually somebody withholding information that they should have shared. I mean, literally, I didn't make a video about it, but quantum mania, that was one of my biggest gripes with it, is the fact that we had a movie because Janet didn't think it was important to say that Kang the Conqueror existed. Even though she absolutely knew that it was important. Even though if Hope and Cassie were asking questions about the quantum realm, maybe it was important instead of just be like, no. That's what those anti-human regressionist officials want you to do. It's just go, no. So you remain stupid. So you start getting used to them controlling things like your menstrual data and what bodily functions you are and aren't allowed to discuss at school. What words you aren't allowed to say or not, even though it doesn't change anything. If I can't say the word woman, it doesn't make me any less of a woman. It just makes it harder for me to talk about it. You know what happens when people don't have the ability to talk about things that are really, really, really deep and impactful for their lives? They start to get into mental health issues. Not everybody. That is not going to happen to absolutely everybody. But studies have shown that tracks. Don't say gay. This gross, creepy menstrual data nonsense. Trying to ban talking about periods in schools. Look. If you really think that the way to properly protect our children is to keep them in the dark until we are forced to tell them truths that they should have learned a million years ago, please don't have kids. Please don't be involved in kids' things. And please go seek out some genuine psychology information. Go take some courses on human development, specifically on child development. Go learn about mental health. Go interview some psychologists and ask them, does it help to withhold information like information about queerness, information about their bodies, whatever? Does it help? Just go ask them. The people that literally it is their job to talk to people that don't really have other people to talk to them in the depth that a therapist could. Just ask them how helpful it really is to try to ban things like this in schools. And consider the fact that 6th grade is far too late. Most girls have their periods by that point, at least in this day and age. And if not most of them, enough of them, that to ban that kind of education in a school is directly harming those girls. If you are an elementary school child in Florida and this nonsense is implemented, and you start your period at school, you're not allowed to go talk to anyone about it. You can't get help, you can't get guidance. All you can do is say, I need to go home. So now your entire school day has been compromised because some anti-human regressionist officials thought it was cool to ban you being able to talk about something that is totally normal that is happening to your body at school. I cannot wait for the day where US officials can get out of people's homes, can get out of people's private conversations, because that is what that is. A conversation about a person's period is a private one. A conversation about a person's sexuality, it's a private one. That doesn't mean it can't be discussed in the open when it is appropriate. That doesn't mean we should ban words like periods and menstruation and this and that in certain places. It is absolutely bonkers to me that people just want to raise kids in this like weird compartmentalized way. Like, okay, you're 2, so therefore you will never encounter anything that is not age appropriate for 2 years old. Like, are you dumb? It is your job as a parent to have age-appropriate conversations about nearly anything. And if there's something that is, there's no age-appropriate way to discuss it, you say that. There's no age-appropriate way to discuss this. We can talk about it when you're a little bit older. Periods are not that. Learning about why mommy has to wear, you know, period underwear, or why mommy has pads or whatever. Like, I probably learned about my mom's period when I was so young, and not in any weird way, just kids are observant. You know, I'd be at the mall with my mom or something, and we'd go to the bathroom and she'd have to change her pad, and I would ask about it. That is not abnormal. What is abnormal to me is for a parent to be like, oh, you can't know about this until you're older. The fuck? They are human. You are not showing your kids 2 people going at it. You are not showing them anything not age appropriate. That there's no. I'm getting so worked up talking about this because it really does seem so straightforward. If you do not allow people to talk about things, that is where you run into trouble. Oh my God, just please look at this, you know, like look at schools who preach abstinence only. Like look at the states in which that was a thing. You know what abstinence is? You don't talk about it, you don't do it, you just don't touch it. And that shit doesn't work. It does not work. Literally, like I said, look to your nearest dumb sitcom, badly put movie script. Like, the thing that gets conflict going most of the time is information being withheld. I am all for inappropriate information not getting to children before it needs to. 100%. I think we can all agree on that. Period information is not that. And don't even, like, I'm not even gonna go near the creepiness that it is going an extra step in literally requiring girls to turn in menstrual information. Get the F out of here. These are not policies that are seeking to protect and help constituents thrive. These are policies that are seeking control. I am sending prayers, Florida. I am championing all of you if you are in Florida, and you can write to your representatives, call your representatives, do whatever you can. Because when you start to regulate information in this way, you get really close to the F word that rhymes with ashism. And the T word that rhymes with auroritarianism. I get it, that wasn't a word, but you know, go with me here. It's scary. We literally have mass shootings to worry about. We have climate change to worry about. We have homelessness to worry about. We have this crazy inflation. There's so many things. And they are using this moment where the entire world is in flux. The markets are in flux. Everything is in flux to try to quite literally attack our right to speak about our own bodily functions because it's an elementary school. Literally, if you're an AFAB girl and you got your period in elementary school, please comment below. Please, 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 because I know I'm not alone. And if I hear one of these regressionist, anti-human BSers say some crap like, we're just trying to protect our children one more time, I'm going to explode. Because if I was an elementary school girl that just got my period and I'm not allowed to say anything about it, you directly harmed me. Because now I have to go home and I have to miss my entire day of school instead of, just getting a little bit of an explanation from a teacher or counselor that I trust and getting some products to help me for that day. And then, going home and talking to my mom about it and stuff like that. I could have stayed at school. I could have finished my day. But instead, no, you chose to directly harm me by trying to make it impossible for me to talk about something that is completely natural that is happening to my body. Because you think that you basically can control my development, right? Because if they say 6th grade is the cutoff, then magically, all of a sudden, every AFAB girl in the world will only get their periods after 6th grade in Florida. I could go on until I'm blue in the face, and I would rather go play Pokemon Fire Red instead. So, thank you so much for listening to this very ranty, very unorganized video. If you have any thoughts on it, consider putting them below kindly, of course. If you're not kind, you'll just get blocked. That's just what it is, because I'm just over it. Or you'll get ignored, honestly. Either way, I would rather just, read your thoughts delivered in a decent human sort of way. If you are an AFAB chick and you had your period in elementary school just like I did, write it down below. Let me know how it would affect you to not be able to literally say anything about it. If this is not your jam, this is not usually the typical video for me. I do reactions, I do commentary. The commentary varies. Sometimes it's on something like this, but a grand majority of the time it's on a book I read or a show that I'm watching or watched or a movie that I watched. Sometimes I talk about just discourse on human discourse when humans don't seem to know how to talk to each other. I kind of analyze that. I am going to be doing a personal episode pretty soon. It's been a while since I've done one. I think I did a end of the year one or something. But I don't think I ever did a full-on this year what's going down with me. So watch out for that. Thank you so much if you made it through this. Seriously. Some ways to support the channel. I have a couple of affiliate links below. One is for natural Shilajit, which is an amazing super nutrient that you can stir into any hot beverage. It is packed with trace minerals, and that is something we should typically get from our fruit and veggies, but we don't get that much anymore because our soil has been very depleted from, being mass farmed. So this is a really easy way to not only detox on a cellular level, but also get those trace minerals that you might be looking for. Another thing that I have for an affiliate is It Just Works Deodorant. It is a deodorizing supplement. I absolutely love it, and I actually started taking it because I was looking for something to really help detox my skin. And it's really helped me out. So that's not what they advertise it for. However, it does do its job. It deodorizes from the inside out, and like I said, it's been a really awesome bonus on clearing my skin. So that might work for you too. But if you're just looking for a way to ensure that your BO is under control, that isn't just deodorant, topical deodorant, I seriously 10 out of 10 recommend. Yeah, so thank you so much. Oh yeah, the last super direct way to support my channel is you can book a tarot reading. And that is, so I do $40 for 30-minute readings. And they get pretty extensive. We can do them on a general life reading. We can narrow it into a particular situation. Whatever it is that you are feeling, we can accommodate it to a tarot reading. So just go ahead and email me. The email should be in the description below. And I think it'll probably pop up here as well. And yeah. I'm probably going to end up adding my PayPal to what's it called, to the description for a more direct way to support me as well, just while I don't have like a Patreon or anything like that, because this channel is growing, but it's not quite profitable just yet. So yeah, thank you so much. If you've done those things, consider doing those things. And if you don't want to do any of those things, but you still want to support the channel, please like this video, please do subscribe to the channel, and please click that bell, because I do post regularly, but I don't post on a schedule. I'm just not put together like that. I'm so sorry. Maybe someday I will be. But I'm just really grateful that you're here. Thank you for listening to me rant about this. This is honestly just really, really infuriating stuff, and my heart goes out to you, Floridians. Mwah! I'll catch you soon. I feel like I should give you guys some eye bleach after this infuriating conversation. Maybe I'll ask James to add like a cute puppy or something. Or a kitten. Or both. Okay, bye.